My brother chose ugly groomsmen to make himself look better, but it backfired horribly. A few months ago, my brother got engaged and never asked me to be his groomsman, even though we were really close. I wasn't offended since maybe he only wanted his best friends to be the groomsmen. But then my brother showed me a picture of every guy he had chosen. I noticed that every single one of the groomsmen was someone he had mocked and ridiculed in the past. In fact, just 2 days before he showed me the picture, he had been joking about how one of those guys couldn't get a date even if he paid for it. All of his actual best friends, the ones he partied with for years, were only invited as regular guests. When I pointed this out, my brother smirked and said, "You'll get it when it's your wedding. You don't want dudes who will steal attention in the photos." I know it's not my business, but this just felt wrong to me. I replied, "Is that seriously why you picked them as groomsmen?" This is when he scoffed and went off on me, calling me self-righteous and accusing me of being bitter. He said he's allowed to prioritize himself on his own wedding day, and I needed to stop being the moral authority. I didn't agree, and argued that everyone is allowed to be shallow any day they want. It's more about whether they should. Anyway, the main reason I was bringing this up is because I had talked to every one of those guys before, and I knew they would be devastated if they discovered the truth. I asked my brother to at least be honest, since this could destroy all his friendships, but he dismissed it and walked away. I talked to our father about this, and he told me to mind my own business and to just show up and support as my brother gets married. I ended up backing off and doing what they wanted, but then, on the actual wedding day, everyone's jaw dropped as they looked at the groomsmen. Turns out, they were so honored when my brother chose them that they had decided to surprise him in the best way possible. All of them had transformed themselves. They had started hitting the gym religiously, hired top-tier stylists, went on strict nutrition plans, and some even got cosmetic procedures. They had also secretly upgraded the groomsmen's suits behind my brother's back and added custom details that made them look incredibly sharp. The wedding photographer couldn't get enough of them and kept requesting more shots. As for my brother, it's safe to say that he was seething inside. He had to fake enthusiasm and compliment them on their transformations, but to me it was obvious that he wasn't pleased. I glanced at a few pictures and sure enough, the groomsmen were looking better than the actual groom, which completely sabotaged my brother's plan. He finally lost it when at the reception, someone said out loud, "You guys clean up so well that any one of you could have been the groom today." My brother started berating them, saying they had ruined his day. He couldn't control himself and actually shouted, "I only picked you losers because you were ugly and unphotogenic. You were only supposed to make me look better by comparison." He realized his mistake instantly, and everyone stared at him in shock. Even his actual best friends, the ones who were invited as regular guests, looked disgusted by this revelation. His reputation was crumbling by the second, but that's not even the worst part. Turns out, he had portrayed himself as a genuine and humble husband to his new wife, who was completely blindsided by this personality reveal. She filed for annulment, and guess what my brother did? He blamed me and our dad for not intervening in time.